YouTube family. What is up, everyone? I'm actually bringing you two short gameplays today. One here on Fringe, in which I go 20-2 using the Breasty for the first part of the match, and then I pick up somebody's VMP, I think, to close out the rest of the game. The second gameplay is one of my most proud gameplays. One thing I've been striding to try to accomplish is a 1,000 score per minute game, and I was actually able to achieve that on Combine running UAV counter UAV hater. But what I want to talk about today is going to be the start of a new kind of little series that I'm going to be doing on my channel, because at the end of the day, I don't have a great KDR. I'm a pretty decent scorer, but for the most part I am not a really great, fantastic player, and I'm okay with that. Ultimately, the way I have decent gameplays is because I'm able to use my mind to just kind of outsmart the enemy in a lot of instances. So my ultimate goal is to get you to think about your gameplays differently, so that when you evaluate yourself as a player, you say, okay, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what makes me unique as a player, what do I have to offer to this game. You can kind of tailor them a little bit better to perform however it is that you want to perform, because there's a lot of YouTubers and pro players who are going to try to give you tips that literally are just going to make you play exactly like them. They're going to try to tell you what guns to use, what attachments to use on those guns, what perks to use, when to use them on what map, and ultimately all that does is just create a bunch of clones. And that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is kind of put something on your mind so that you think of the game differently, and then you can choose, how you want to play and how you get better. So what we're going to talk about today actually is something huge, something that I feel like is very important to team-oriented success, and that is giving good callouts. For those of you who do not know, a call-out is when you give your teammates information about the game in progress, so they can be more successful. One of the biggest mistakes and most common mistakes when giving call-outs is trying to give your teammates all of the information about the incident in question. So whether it's the team is defusing the bomb, or someone's on a flag in domination, or you got some guys camping around a corner or something like that, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is trying to give all of the information about those incidents. What the most important thing I can say about giving callouts is that callouts need to be very short. If you spend too long trying to give too much information, there's a very good chance that your teammates will encounter whatever it is that you are trying to warn them about while you're halfway through whatever it is you're trying to say. In my opinion, a great callout is 3 words or less. Because remember, you're not trying to give them all of the information. Your job is to give them enough information that they can make a good decision as a player. And what I feel like is probably the best type of call out is a quantity call out. And pretty much what a quantity call out is, you call out how many enemies you got contact with. Whether that's you stepping out and seeing a few enemies, or maybe an enemy killed you, or maybe you're using awareness and your teammates are not, and you can hear, some footsteps. Call out the quantity, because if I step out here and I see one guy and I know my teammates are behind me but they don't have that vantage point, all I have to do is call out 1, 2, however many enemies I see, especially if you are killed by the enemy. If I step out of a doorway and I'm shot down, I don't want my teammate to go running into a group of 3 because he thinks that he can step out and pick up an Avenger kill on what he thinks may be 1 person. So when I step out, take my death or whatever, whatever mistake I made, that's fine. I call out 3, he knows to pull back instead of rush. And that's really what I feel like is going to be the best call out. Another great thing to do is play with people that you're comfortable with, and the more you play with the same people, the easier it will be to call out, because you will eventually learn the way your teammates play, and you may get to do less call outs because they will kind of get familiar with what call outs you do make most often. Another thing that you can do is what I call a pre-call out. If you've been playing against the same team, or you're halfway through the game and you're starting to notice certain tendencies that the enemy will do, a lot of times, before you even really engage, you can give a call out. Say, hey, you know what? There might be a couple of guys around this corner. Hey, there's probably going to be a shock charge here. Hey, there may be this here, there may be that here, and that way you can actually spend a little more time on the call out and possibly be, a lot more prepared, and get your teammate prepared for things that you are already kind of prepared for because you've encountered it already. Another very crucial thing to giving good callouts is knowing the map. If you do not know the map, you will give bad callouts. It's as simple as that, because you're going to spend too much time trying to think about exactly what it is you're trying to call out, and then you really can't get a call out vocabulary. It's good that you ultimately get a call out vocabulary so that you can say things like on what's that map called, Redwood. A lot of times, one of the call outs that we give is big tree side. And what that means is that far left or right side, whatever part of the map you spawned on, with the trees that are much bigger than all the other trees in the map, that's where the enemy is. But if you don't know the map, then you do not understand the call out, and as a result cannot respond to it efficiently. Now let's give a short recap as we close out here. Number one, make your call outs short and sweet, straight to the point. Ideal call outs are 3 words or less. Number two, play with familiar people and build a call out vocabulary that everyone can understand. And then 3, make sure that you learn the map. If you do not learn the maps, you will give bad call outs. Let me know what y'all thought about this first episode of Tips Abstract, and the original Grown B will see y'all later. Thanks for watching.